Look how dang solid these things are. This is insane. This guy's got so many just solid trucks here. Virtually no rust. The cab ones, the doors are all still there. Hey Luke, you know what would be cool? If we got one of these suckers running.
I was gonna say, what would be cool if we just moved here?
But yeah, we should see if we get one of these running.
I'm down.
Something around here might run.
I'm sure we could find something.
Let's look for something. This guy's got a lot of projects that are like finished that he just lets sit. Hey, look at this thing.
You want to know a funny story?
Ooh.
I actually owned the engine and transmission that's in this truck right now, and it's out of a 5th Avenue, and I love the car. It's actually got the front section out of this truck, or it's in this truck now, and I was proud of this little air cleaner that I did. I did this here. I bought this on eBay. I stuck that on there. It's like, I got a 318. Check it out.
What'd you find, Luke?
I don't like those.
Some dual quad tri-hard rig.
Dual quad. Hey, that's a Mustang motor.
So check it out, it's got dual quads, and then it's like, oh, stock headers. Didn't see that.
Wow, look how close it is.
It's a 5-speed. Probably it's still the...
I don't think it is a 5-speed.
It's not a T5. So it's a manual, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's
Now with
different.
that, the cup on that shifter is definitely not a T5.
I think that's what this 5-speed up here is for.
That's a T5, right, Luke?
Yep, pretty sure.
Oh, it is?
Borg Warner, yeah. Alright, now somehow I missed this at the time, but this transmission is definitely an interesting piece here. Notice how the shifter location is at the forwardmost point of the tail shaft on this unit. That's because this is what I believe to be at least an S10 T5. Now the significance of these is that the tail shaft can be grafted onto the Ford T5 for the F100 5-speed T5 base swap, where it moves the shifter forward away from the bench seat, much like the truck should have anyway. So if you want to see how I very cheaply 5-speed swapped my F100, check out my video here that does a full walkthrough with parts list breakdown. It even has the links. So anyway, with that, let's get back to our forgotten car adventure here in Tennessee.
Alright, let's keep looking. This
Dart right here would be a good choice.
That's definitely a contender.
As a resident Moparian, instantly attracted to this one. This is a 68 slant 6.
Hello.
Single barrel Holly.
Leaning tower of power.
If you can't make one of these run, you don't really need to try. It's probably one of the easiest things to ever work on. But
Alright, so as you're beginning to see here, this place is full of very interesting vehicles that probably were decent running cars at one point that are now sitting, and in a lot of cases, it seems like for very many years. So if you want to see us have a good time, try and fire off some of these, check out Dylan McCool's channel and Junkyard Dig's channel. The link to the videos on their channel are coming across your screen here up top and will be listed in the description below. So please go and check those guys out. So this is definitely some interesting, candid, raw material of all three of us. So with that, let's get back to the video here where we try and fire off this janky, forgotten dual quad street rod build, and let's just see how it goes. All right, so we're here today with Kevin from Junkyard Digs and Dylan McCool, and we're just starting up some stuff here out in the backwoods, I guess. It's been parked for however long, and this is kind of a really interesting one. It's some sort of a custom truck that was done who knows how long ago. As you can see, it's sat for a long time. It's had mice in it and every other thing. It looks like it is a small block Ford with a dual carb high-rise intake, so it should be pretty interesting. Pretty hard to start, but we'll see what we can do. What'd you say, this is like a 1940s, some era truck. It's got a 4-speed swapped into it, and I think there was good intentions at some point because there's a Borg Warner T5 sitting on the other side of the rig, but yeah, anyway, somewhere along the way it got forgotten and here it sits, so we're going to try and check the vitals here and fire it up and see if we can at least maybe get it to run, idle, if it'll shift into gear, just whatever. So let's jump right in.
so the battery is actually located under this wood panel right under your feet. Ah, it's broken. Just check out how this thing was chopped and channeled right here in the middle of the door. This is actually about half of what the door's length would actually be. So it makes it sit really low, which is why I'm able to be taller than it. Go ahead.
Okay. It's kind of cool though, you know, it seems like the window is about normal.
I'm loving this bug sprayer gas tank thing.
It smells fuely. I can't imagine why.
Just flushing the toilet on this poor little 302, washing rings left and right.
I'm sure if it isn't adjusted right, which I don't even know if, I would never try and put dual quad on a small block Ford, but hey, each their own, I guess. Rock and roll, man.
Oh, man. Is that really what it says?
Yeah.
More wing nuts.
More wing nuts.
I just didn't want to rip it apart. Too bad.
Wow, those are not clean.
No. I have little hope for this vehicle at this time.
If that ain't mint, I don't know what is.
Okay, so technically, let's get the fuel bottle.
Should I just see if we can crank?
Yeah, you want to see if it'll? Well, hold on. Let's make sure we're in neutral so we don't go through the garage door.
Probably a good idea.
She cranks. Ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
I wanted to.
What are these, 600s?
I don't know. I'd have to really get down and look at them.
Hopefully there's something small. They're pretty small orifice.
Yeah, they're like the little 394 barrels maybe.
So it's
That's like the only
possible
thing
that
that
this
could
is-
possibly run.
Yeah, there's a possibility that this was done right. All right, here we go.
All right, we're getting the fuel line all hooked up and our auxiliary fuel pump, I guess, because it's kind of got, you know, from sitting all this time, the fuel's gone bad. Doesn't seem like our fuel pump works either, but we don't want to pull from the tank. So we got our little can of gas we've been using all day. We couldn't find a key to it, so we have it hot wired right now, hot coming from the positive of the battery, going down to our starter there where Kevin, Junkyard digs, touches that to turn our engine over, and you don't want to do that because that is a dead short.
Everything's on fire.
So, and then we're using that as our junction point, and coming down here to our coil. So I think now we got our fuel pump hooked up, and we're going to give it some power and just make sure our needle and seats aren't stuck and that it's just pouring right in the engine. Yeah, you want to hook the fuel pump up and
Yep.
let her go.
Power to pump.
See if we can get some light. Run out of daylight today. We've been doing so many good cold starts with our boys. Yep, there we go. So
Become free.
that's why we did it before we started, because that would have been a nice fireball.
All right.
Yeah. Oh. Hey, it's working though. Might as well good bender, right?
Yeah, it's leaking flow right here.
Yeah, it's got a bad O-ring on like the crossover
Want to
too.
try to still start it, or?
Yeah,
should try it.
it's just dripping. It's fine.
Ready?
Yep, go for it. We're pumping the last little bit of that fuel pump out. That's why we have the suction line unhooked. Sound like from behind.
aggressive and messy.
My ears are ringing from standing back there.
Sketchy.
Yeah, it's pretty gacked. It's pretty gacked. So we don't have any accelerator pump. I wonder how long it's sat. That fuel is like super orange. So,
well, the general number on here seems to be about 10.
It's been sat for a pretty good while. Last time I remember driving is probably 4 or 5 years ago, I'd say. Even more, probably more.
You know, we probably could get it dialed in a little bit. It's like the carburetors are sized right, but you know, with having a dual quad, you're going to have to go through and do all the adjustments the right way. And I do have a lot of stuff on my channel where we go through and the bits and pieces of how to set up carburetors properly so they run and drive right. Not only on the drag strip, but you know, on the road, which is where 99% of the time where we're driving them anyway. But this thing here, you know, it'd take a little bit of work to get right, and we don't want to sit here and run the engine too long without checking all the vitals to a larger or to a deeper extent. So I think if you guys are good, we'll call it on this one. You definitely want to go and check out these guys' channel. Dylan McCool here behind the camera, Kevin from Junkyard Digs. So earlier today we've gone through and we've just tried to cold start a lot of vehicles that have sat for a really long time. It's definitely interesting. There's some stuff that starts up that you'd never imagine that it would. So you definitely want to give these guys a look. But I think we're going to call it for a day and go get some dinner. What do you guys think?
I like food because I'm fat, so let's do it.
Let's get out of here.